Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to go ahead and tackle another visual novel, this time Higurashi Nako Koro Ni, also known as When They Cry. So you may have heard of this as an anime series before, but this is actually the source material for that anime series. Personally, I think Higurashi is a fantastic psychological horror series and is probably my favorite horror anime. I haven't really watched many horror anime, to be fair, because I'm a little pansy, but this one I think is pretty fantastic. So I got it a while back on sale on Steam, and it was pretty cheap, and I was just, might as well go ahead and play this. This game is fairly simple, and there's not a whole lot of interaction to be had. You're really just reading through it and getting to know the characters. Now, for the characters, this game is creepy as hell. It makes you feel very uneasy. And they do this in a very unique way. So it's not just a straight up horror slasher kind of game. It's very psychological horror. And at the beginning, when you start playing, it lulls you into this false sense of security that you're just going to be going through your everyday life. It's very clean, it's very nice, everyone's good friends, and you don't really have a whole lot of problems, at the beginning at least. As the game progresses, you really start to get a sense of unease starting about halfway through the first chapter, the introduction. And you're like, you're just asking too many questions about their society, and they tell you to stop asking about it, stop thinking about it, and everything like that. And at first, your character just thinks you can blow it off, until some weird things start happening, in which case some of the characters completely flip on their head, and it's very, very, very creepy and unnerving. Like, just looking at some of the sprites with the simple audio effects in the background and reading what they have to say is unnerving, which kind of sounds weird coming from just a simple game like this. However, I think it's really effective at the psychological horror that it tries to put out. There's 7 chapters to this game, making it fairly long, but each individual chapter isn't overly long, and you can buy them in a complete set on Steam for a reasonable price. It's not overly expensive. I haven't finished this one yet, but it's very, very similar to the anime, and I think that's where this visual novel kind of falls apart. The anime follows it very well, and it's a very good adaptation. And I just think that can kind of be the downfall for this game. Because you find that why do I want to play this and read through this when there's not a whole lot of extra content and differences compared to the anime, at least in the beginning. Now, I obviously haven't finished it, but if you've seen the anime, you've probably got a pretty good grasp of the story for this game. Personally, I really enjoy the anime, so going through and reading through it isn't that bad for me because I do enjoy the show. However, for some people who would just prefer to sit down and watch an anime instead of reading through this very, very long thing, then I can recommend with a solid conscience to just watch the anime. This isn't like the Fate route of Fate Stay Night where you don't want to watch the anime because it's just a bad adaptation. This is much different. I think that you can get away with just watching the anime and being completely fine with it. So my final thoughts on this. I really enjoy this. However, you can just watch the anime and be completely fine. You don't actually have to go through and read the original source material to get a good grasp of what's going on. Now, the version on Steam has updated sprites, which is very nice because if you turn on the old sprites, they don't look good at all. And it looks very much more like the anime. So, if you're a fan of the anime and you want to get a little bit extra and you want to experience the story in a different medium, then go ahead. Personally, I think the story itself is fantastic and very creepy. I was a camp counselor, and at one point, my campers asked me to tell them a scary story. So which one did I pick but the plot of Higurashi? And it was a multiple day thing, and I had stories lined up every night before everyone went to bed, just like that. If you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll have more content coming down the pipeline soon. I'm planning to keep on doing more and more of these visual novel review type videos because I really enjoy them. I love visual novels, and I think that more people should get into them, or if they need a place for a short little review about what I think about the game, then they can just come here. That being said, I'll see you guys later.